Hello, this is just a quick video to get you started receiving inbound calls on a live client platform. After creating an account, you then need to just sign in. I always like this one thing when I'm remembered. You will come to the very first page. I do not have an active subscription. A subscription is the fee that you pay monthly for the technology to be able to get these calls to you. It's the platform cost. So the very first thing you need to do, the bottom right-hand corner, is create a subscription. Agree to the terms, and I have a subscription. As you can see, we are under the Billings tab of the platform. This is where you deposit money into your wallet. As the calls come in, as they hit their buffer time, you will be charged and that money is pulled from the wallet. The next step is to go to the agent checklist. This is in a bar in the upper right-hand corner. These are the items that need to be handled before you can begin accepting inbound calls. Right now, I'm not receiving any calls for a lot of reasons. But this is, if you're sitting for a time and you don't have any calls coming in, there might be a technical reason on your side. So this is always a good place to check. It is a report of the items that need to happen before you can receive a call. Right now, I'm offline. I'm not accepting any calls because I'm not available. I do have my subscription, but I don't have a daily limit of paid transfers. And just so you know, none of these are transfers. Everything is consumer initiated. This is just the wording the developers use. So let's take care of that next step. Let's set the daily limit. So I go to settings. As you can see, it put us over at the settings tab. And the settings tab has the user settings, which is your name, email, any of that you need to change. Also a link to the agent checklist and the password where if you need to change your password. The daily limit of paid transfers is a budgeting tool for you. So if you get on a roll and you're taking lots of calls, but you weren't expecting to spend that much money, this is just where you can say, I'm not going to take more than 20 calls in a day, no matter what. And if you find that you're having a really good day and want more than the number that you're putting in here, you can change it and it takes effect instantly. So now I need to tell the platform what area codes I would like to receive calls in. You can do this in two different ways. The easiest is to adjust it by state. I am going to accept only calls in Connecticut. No, let's do Colorado as well. As you can see, the state's populated down here, but I haven't added them yet. So you click the add and plus. All of the area codes in Colorado and Connecticut now show up in the area codes list. This 303 area code, that's an area that won't work for me, so I can take it off here. Or I can take it off by going to Colorado and removing it. So now I have only the Connecticut area codes. The phone number. When a call comes in, you hit the transfer, and this is the phone number that the call gets transferred to. You do not speak through a headset. You are not talking to your computer. You actually are talking on the phone once you transfer that call. And this number can be a cell phone. It can be a landline, an office number, or an online number. It doesn't matter, but it does have to be a working phone number that doesn't have a greeting on it. It needs to go straight to you because the people calling in, it's the equivalent of calling into your office. And the most important part of this page is to save it. Okay, I've gotten the green box, so everything is now set on the settings page. So let's go back to our agent checklist now and see what that looks like. I have taken care of my subscription. I have set my daily limit. I have area codes. I have a phone number. I have not chosen any products yet. So the way to do your products is to go to the marketplace. The marketplace is where you tell the platform which calls you would like to receive. These are in alphabetical order. So final expense all starts with FE, just so you can find what you're looking for. You can also utilize the filters up here if you would like. There is a brief description of what each campaign is, the hours that it runs, and you also will have some ads available, the refund policy and terms available for those campaigns, and for the final expense we have a script. If you would like to use, please feel free. And these are just downloads, so you can click on them. As you can see, we have final expense and Medicare available, and we also have 2 pages, still in alphabetical order. So for this video, I'm going to do a test. All you need to do is click the box of the campaign that you are looking for, and you can have multiples. The daily limit that is beside the checkbox. If you are in multiple campaigns, let's say you have set your daily global limit at 20 calls, but you only want 5 of those to be from the test setup campaign, you can put a 5 in here. So then once you reach the limit for that campaign, it won't send you those calls anymore. This is not a requirement. You can leave this blank. It's just, again, it's a way for you to budget and figure out which calls work best for you. The Actions button is then our next step, where we save our changes. So let's go back to our agent checklist. I now have everything covered except for my wallet balance. At the bottom of the agent checklist, there are 2 troubleshooting tools. You can play the incoming sound, which we'll hear during a test call. It is a very loud sound because it is important to us that you don't miss calls. There's also the test web notifications. A lot of times your browser will have notifications turned off, simply because that you personally probably don't want to receive a bunch of notifications on different websites. For this platform, the way we let you know a call is coming in does require you to be able to receive a notification. So you can click on that. Oh, my notifications are not allowed. I'm in Chrome, and the way to turn those on, there is a button right beside the URL, right at the top. I'm circling it. Most people don't even know it's there, so that's why I'm drawing a lot of attention to this. When you click on it, you can turn on the notifications. Sometimes you will just get a pop-up that says, hey, do you want your notifications turned on? And sometimes you need to go to the settings. It's the 3 dots on the top right-hand corner of your browser, and then go to Settings. I have changed my notifications here, so now the platform and the browser are asking me to reload. So when I go back to my web notifications, I now am allowed notifications. So the next step that I would like to show you is what it looks like when a call comes in. You go to the Calls tab, and you can see that I am unavailable. I do have 20 calls remaining for the day. You can see that in the blue box. And as you accept billable calls, that will drop. It keeps a running total for you there. And like I said, if you ever need to change that, it is this number in your agent settings. But right here is where you change the volume of the notification. So let's see what happens when you're actually ready to begin taking calls. First of all, I set myself to available. And as you can see, a tile populated at the bottom of the screen that says there are no incoming calls at this time. This is the tile that changes when a call is coming into you. So let's go through what pops up on the screen in that area. You can see the campaign that the call was coming from, the area code the person is calling from, and the caller ID of what's going to come through on your phone when you transfer. It does take a few seconds to get the transfer actually moving through. As you can see, once the transfer went through, The platform made you unavailable. It knows that you are no longer available to take a call because it knows it just sent a call to you. One thing the platform will not do is make you available again. It doesn't know how long your conversation is. It doesn't know if you've just needed to fill up your water bottle. It doesn't know anything. You have to manually tell it that you are available again. And after each call, we require a disposition. Fairly obvious: sale, appointment, not interested. You can pick those. The reason for this is for both of us. One, you can keep track of which campaigns are actually working better for you, seeing where you're seeing sales and appointments. And also for us, if we are starting to see a lot of dead air calls, for example, we know that there might be a connection of issue with one of the publishers. So that, we keep an eye on this all day long. So please disposition correctly. I had a sale, so there we go. And I sold a final expense policy for $5,000 a year. If I also had sold another product, I have the ability to include that here. One thing I would like to point out is in the Histories tab, you will have access to all of the information that came through. The number that I transferred to, the extension. Now, I do not have the caller ID of the person because it has not gone billable. If I had gone billable, then that would be definitely something that would show up on this call. You can also get a download of the recording, which is very easy to do. You just request it and it gets sent to you through an email. So there is a bit of information in the Histories tab, and you can also see your dispositions, which is, like I said, a good way for you to track what's going on with the different campaigns. I think it's time to go take a few calls. I wish you lots of luck. Thanks.